Hello everyone, it's Sean and I'm here to open up the first of the 6 remaining boxes of the toy room because I have to find those carded Hot Wheels and the loose Hot Wheels that I want to sell at the die-cast show, and therefore I need to, find them. That was a redundant sentence, yes, I know. But once I find them, I can put them in one of the spare medium-sized boxes I have. And then I'll have the 5th and final box to load in my car for the November 8th die-cast show. And that way I'll be able to get things done. And I have opened up a space on what will become the Star Trek shelf so that I'm able to actually put the Star Trek 2009 figures here to go with the supersized Spock. So I just have to find a place to put the Lego right now. I think I see a spot. There you go. Now this is the top of a Hot Wheels car, and that is a pad. Okay, good. So why don't we face it this way? You can see the shelf as I give it some figures. Like the Sulu figure and the Cadet Chekhov figure, which I bought from the 400 market. No, it wasn't the 400 market. It was the Renfrew Flea Market, that's it. And of course you have a few carded Hot Wheels, and I think I'm finally getting to the, there it is, the missing Sulu Star Trek 50 Years Hot Wheel that goes with the ones that are hanging up on the cabinet. You know, you might as well put these carded Hot Wheels up here for now, because I still have to get at these boxes. But you just might be able to do something like that. Good. See, there you go. Then you do that. There you are. Good. All right. So let's get more out of this box, because I think I see some MOTU Origins figures, like 40th anniversary figures. Now, where do I put them? Well, the top of the shelf is occupied, but I should be able to put them here on the 40th anniversary shelf. Oh, it'd have to be on the very top level. Okay, well that's no problem then. What we do is we take these carded Hot Wheels out of here, and those extra Star Wars figures. They won't. That's too high. All right, I've got it. So, bring the transporter set down. Now, hopefully, it stays intact and doesn't wobble around too much. But it does seem to be wobbling a bit right now. But if I can do it like this, there you go. Okay, so 40th anniversary figure, there you go. Should be deep enough. I should be able to put another one in place without interference. And there's my loose Darth Maul figure in the Visionaries figure slot. There you go, 40th anniversary. I don't know why this is continue. It's almost like it needs a rug too. Well, you know, if that shelf insists on tipping, it might be better to actually put the figures onto this shelf here. So let me see if I can move that tipping college shelf out of the way, like so. And then bring these figures down. Come on, don't be taped to each other now. Bring them down like so, like that. There we go, there we go. And should, if I can get it back far enough. There. Good, okay. So then I should be able to fit, aha, see, there you go. It's a bit of a different layout than I had in Chalk River, but it should be sufficient for now to create an entirely new Masters of the Universe shelving unit. Now, I don't know if this Masterverse figure will fit in here. Unless, of course, I do what I did with the Star Trek shelf and turn everything sideways. Well, actually, do it this way. There you go. You see the beautiful side, aren't you? Yep. Now, Masterverse, see, it can fit. Good. Excellent. All right. This won't, but you can, oh, well, that's not going to help either, is it? All right, then the college shelf becomes a catch-all for other things, and the Masterverse can fit kind of like that. Good. So let's see what other 40th anniversary figures are lying around that I can put in place. Got a few Batman Hot Wheels. I don't know what year they're from. Oh, let's see here. $2021. All right. So I'll be back when I've unwrapped a bit more. But here is a preliminary MOTU shelf with some 40th anniversary figures there. I'm beginning to find components for my Starcom Command Center. So I may have to change the layout of this shelf to compensate. But then again, I was always in the mood of putting the 40th anniversary figures up on top of this shelf. That's where they were originally. Because if these are the parts of the Starcom command base, then I might have no choice but to do that. But we're not quite there yet, because there's the 40th anniversary Con figure. And there's the 40th anniversary Spock figure with the proper branding. And that's why they're not opened. That's it. Now, hopefully they don't tip forward. Hopefully they stay upright. And since they seem to have a habit of tipping forward, that's where we take the Star Trek shelf and we put them in here to compensate. Which is why I'm glad I stacked those sideways so that I have room to do that. See? Star Trek The Next Generation, there it is. And then you've got Khan, you've got Spock, and you've got Admiral Kirk. Okay, it's not quite wide enough for 4 figures, so one of them's going to have to go in sideways, possibly 2. All right, so Kirk and Spock. So there you go. There you go. However, since Wrath of Khan was my introduction to Star Trek and was my favorite, let's see here. There. There you go. There you go, and now the carded Star Trek shelf is pretty complete. Okay, that's good. We're getting somewhere now. All right. Now I've cleared the top of the shelf and can put these 40th anniversary figures up here without interference. And I have cleared this section for the Starcom command base components. Should fit there. Assuming, of course, I can get them unboxed without interference. We'll find out in due time. unwrap one component at a time, and it's better if it goes that way. See? There's another component. Now that goes with a stairwell. Like, kind of, not quite. You're getting there. Getting there, slowly. Oh, nothing in that paper. Nothing in this paper either. Or that one. Found another riser that I bought at the Bay for action figures. Use the boxes as surfaces. Yeah, there might not be anything else in here. Come to think of it. We've got the Masters of the Universe figure case, but no figures to put on it in it at this time. And the vacuum, so I'll be right back. Alright, a couple of die-cast cars, the Iron Man Camaro and the Fast and Furious Toyota Supra, which I've never seen a model kit for, but at least you have the die-cast. Here are the Galoob Next Generation action figures. That was the toy line that produced Star Trek figures before the Playmates line, of course. So you've got almost everyone, including Tasha. Tasha Yar. Of course, the autograph I got from her was the Sela action figure. And a bag full of random Star Wars figures, including a couple from Episode 2, so that's a pretty random bag there. And the golf shoes. So that's the end of that box, and I'll be back with the box number 2. Alright, so the next is this one. Going to have to start putting figures behind everything here so that I have room to actually open up the next box. See, with the shelf in the way, it's hard to get it. Oh, there we go. Do it that way. There you are. Here we go. There you go. There you are. Front and center is the iconic Jurassic Park Jeep. So now you can get at the second box, which I'm going to need a knife to open, so I will be right back. Alright, so here's box number 2, which is unlabeled at the present time. So I have to open it to see what's inside, of course. And I think we're getting somewhere now. This paper, non-relevant. That paper, non-relevant. Here is the MOTU Origins version of Skeletor with his Havoc staff. Come on, get in the hand. There you go. And his sword is on his scabbard. So for now, until I find a better place for him, let me see if I can actually get him to stand properly. Well, that one stood properly, so come on. Why aren't you? Well, I suppose that does work in some form or another. Kind of. Oh, wait a minute. That one doesn't bend. Well, that'll have to do. Okay. Even though that... Oh, that's touching now. Okay. You've got the comics from the MOTU Origins. There you go. Got those. You've got a whole bunch of loose Origins figures stuck in here, complete with a few bonus figures. So now we're getting somewhere. Now, they're not 40th anniversary figures, of course, but... Well, this one is. The Snout Spout, of course, is. But you might as well put the figures you have yet to open on top of the shelf. Right up there. Because that's what I'm covering. For the most part. Well, actually, well, yes, I am. There you go. It is working, slowly. Lots of loose figures in here, but there's also figures that are not loose. Oh, careful. The card bags. Oh, dear. Well, don't worry. I'm opening up Webster anyway from the cartoon collection. I do hope that every one of these drawers is that they're not actually filled with figures. Well, I'm going to fix that. Give me one moment here. Give me one moment and I actually will fix that. Because I think a lot of these figures that are loose can actually fit into these little drawer towers, complete with their accessories and everything else. I mean, that's what they're for, to fit all the loose figures so they don't get lost. Until I come across a shelf on which to display them. Yes. I can't believe they were just dumped loose in the box. Good thing they're not the vintage figures. I'm sure those... Oh my god, is this thing empty? Not quite. Vintage figures are put in here. And some Origins. Huh. Well, they didn't put all the loose figures in there like I'd hoped they would, but... We'll start at the bottom, build a solid base, and go from there. Of course, there is Origins He-Man. Have to find his sword eventually. I'll find his sword. His head is facing like the other one. Now, the accessories are all in here in this Mattel Creations box. But these loose figures are going to have to go into the loose figure drawer. Yeah, there's a few Star Trek figures in here. I've dress uniform Riker and everything, but just keep adding to it, bit by bit, figure by figure, accessory by accessory. Because there's, you know, it's not a harmful thing to rotate the toy room. There's He-Man's sword. Although that might be an actual vintage sword, really. So let's see if we can get him to stand upright properly. There you go. Origins He-Man and Skeletor. So we'll open up more figures and put them in the drawer tower. There we go. Good view of the drawer tower. Add a few more figures in place until the drawer tower is full, and then you've got it arranged properly. Battle Armor He-Man, the modern equivalent of my vintage figure. I swapped out the head because it didn't look proper compared to the head I'm familiar with. There is the sword, the corncob sword of the merman. And there's the cowl of Battle Cat, alright. Corncob sword, alright. There's another corncob sword. Put it beside him. and should be able to fit a nice flat figure like a, there. There's the axe. That's the axe of He-Man, although he already has a something, so you should be able to put the axe in his back slot. It fits. That's good. Head's a bit loose. There you go. Alright, good. So, what other figure can fit? Possibly. Okay. That should be it. Fit one figure like that. Can you still close the drawer and still get it open? Good. Okay. Second level. Well, I don't think the second level is going to take anything except perhaps this Horde figure. Should be able to take it. Yes, good. Okay. Okay. That's it for the second. Oh, all right. There you go then. Good. Come on. There you go. All right. Now, we have to add in a few cartoon figures. That's good. Just trying to look for places to put things now. Good thing I'm planning to open up those remaining figures now because they got a bit worse for wear from the packing. Here's another 40th anniversary figure. That's Mantenna. And then you've got the Snake Mountain, of course. But first, you have to put more in the drawer. So which drawer is empty enough? There you go, the one with the Mega Constructs figures. So, there we go. Oh, it's not tall enough to see into it? Now it is. Okay, so, you have Sunman. Oh, look, you're getting into the die-cast cars. Okay, I will remove the die-cast cars because I have ideas on where to display them. Beastman, yes. This is a vintage Roboto. This is a vintage Battle Armor He-Man to replace mine from my childhood, and I think I have found the replacement sword as well. So actually, that was the oh, good grief, there's two swords and they look identical. I don't know which one is which. Well, I'll give him the slightly darker gray sword. Like that. But that is slightly different. They're not joined, so you know that's a modern sword. There's Tila, again, vintage Tila. Vintage Zodak. So a few vintage figures mixed in with non-vintage figures as expected. Vintage Ram Man? Yeah, vintage Ram Man, because, you know, he doesn't move. So, you know, he's vintage. Good. Vintage Clawful, because his legs don't bend. That's how you tell the vintage from the Origins. Some of them are so close to each other, you can't tell any other way. And, if you can get it in, Snake Mountain. I'll just put it down here first. Whoops. We'll put the hinge back in place. Be right back. They put a figure inside it. They really shouldn't have. So I should be able to fit the hinges back in place properly. Come on now. Under and over. Under and over. Under and over. There we go. Good. Click, click. Upright. There you go. All right, good. This is the Man-at-Arms figure with the Sunman shield. So he has to go in the drawer again, along with everything else. And there are no more. Oh, well, there's a couple more figures in here.